Hello everyone. I'm creating this video specifically to talk about maintaining readability and accessibility and interactive communication in the context of Google tools and document design. So this video, I'm aiming right now to share it with faculty for workshop that I'm co-facilitating, but in the future I will also use it with my students because I find myself always lecturing my students about it. So I'm creating it so that everybody can use it without me having to talk about it necessarily in class until they watch the video and discuss it with me. I also encourage you, if you like the video, to distribute it to other people, to other faculty, to other students, to anybody who might need help in maintaining readability and accessibility in document design in the context of Google tools. I created this document specifically so that I can show the different things, the different tools that I want to talk about. So for instance, this includes a guide, and the guide will include creating Google folders and giving permission of access to a folder, creating a Google document and giving permission to access a document, maintaining readability and accessibility in Google document design to include document name, document title, font size and type, headings and subheadings, table of contents, nested, bulleted, and numbered lists, indenting text, inserting page headers and footers and page numbers, spacing in between paragraphs, page breaks, and hyperlinks, not only mere links. This is only a starting point. I don't want you to see this as a comprehensive list. It's only a starting point for basics in Google tool, but we need to always maintain readability and accessibility out of Google tools on Word, on Canvas, on various document design that we create. So if you want to learn more, I encourage you to consult video tutorials and online tutorials that tell you more about how to create accessible documents. And I'm including here two readings for you. One is authored by me, it's called Enabling the Reader, and the other is documented by a colleague from Rhetoric and Composition Studies, the rhetorical possibilities of accessibility. So these are good for anybody to read, and they are also good for students to read. So let's begin. So I said first that we are going to create Google folders and giving permission of access to a folder. So I'm going to go first to my drive. So if you have, you need to have a Google account in order to access a drive, and you have a certain capacity to have material uploaded to the drive. So I go to my drive and go to new. I press on it. I can have new folder, new file, or folder upload, or file upload. So I want to create a new folder. And of course, it prompts me to give it a name. So it's very important to name the title in a meaningful way. For this example, I'm going to call it example, like video tutorial example. So oftentimes I want to share the folder with people, not only like if I want to put material inside it, and right now there's no material in it. So I want to give access. So to give access, I can come from the video tutorial and say share and click on share. And then I can add the people's Gmail accounts, and that will give these certain people permission. And I will decide what the permission will be. So I'm going to give myself now Diab Kifaya. And here by default, it's like Kifaya will be able to edit, but I can also choose just viewer, just to view and do nothing, just view, and they can download or comment by adding comments to the document or edit. So in editor, then somebody can add material to the folder. By default, everybody who's in that folder, like anything I put in the folder, it will be accessible by default to the people that I'm sharing them with. Here, a message, it's optional. I would just say anything I want to explain and send. Now, an invitation was sent to Kifaya. Because I'm on a university account, it tells me that this person is external and they cannot, and are you sure that you want them to have this access? I say share anyway. Okay, and send. Okay, great. Now we're done with the first thing. The second thing is create a Google document and give permission to access the document. Now, if I go to the folder that I just created, video tutorial example, I will add here, I will go to Google Documents and blank document. Create. I created it. I want to go to back to share. I never share it from here. That's why I usually share it from the outside. Oh, shoot. Okay, here, share, press on it. Oh, right away, it tells me name before sharing. I have to give a share. And this is a thing that I'm going to talk to you about. So I will just call it example because we should not. And save. And then I come here. Now I want to create it to any people look here that lands because I often share stuff with him. So I have this suggesting it's be lands. Either from my account, I can add anybody, and those are the people that I've been sharing stuff with, or I can't come here to general access. Restricted means that nobody other than the people I add can have access. I can use UNC Charlotte. That means anybody from UNC Charlotte can be, the default is viewer. I can choose for them to be commenter or be an editor. And then I can here say can find in search result or must have link to access. So usually when I work with my students, because I don't want to add them one by one, I say, okay, UNC Charlotte, and I give them the permission that I want to give to them. Okay, I'm not going to finish on this. The rest of the work will happen on the document that I already created. Okay, so the maintaining readability and accessibility in Google document design to include these things. But what I've just did was to maintain readability and accessibility. So creating the folders and giving them titles. So document name. What do I mean by document name? Document name is here, this. So far mine is untitled. If you come here and see the first thing I wrote, it's the title. So good. It's something good that I gave a title to my document, but I didn't give a name. So if I just click now when it's untitled document, it takes the first thing that's written. So it takes it to be the title. So it gives the name by default the same title. So if you want, you can do this. I will make it just short. So I'm going to say maintaining readability and accessibility. And I'm going to add my name by Kifaya Diab. I will say by Dr. Kifaya Diab in case there are students that I want to share this with. So why is this important? It's important because it's really from the name of the document, somebody can know what is this about and who it was made by. So if we come here, I go to my drive. I actually created that in the workshop here. I called the first folder FLC. And then that's for a workshop I'm creating and the summer workshop. And then where do I have the tutorial? Here, maintaining readability and accessibility. So now we can see it. So I know before I open it, I know what's in it. So right now it's here. So I gave it a name. Now a title. So the title is here. So I added the title already. So this is something good. Usually a title might be bigger text and bolded, for instance. And I like to make my titles like centralized. Okay. The other thing is font size and type. So often we learned from somewhere that we need to write documents in mostly font size 12 and Times New Roman. That might not be the best for readability and accessibility. And sorry, I think my cats are chasing each other, so might be hearing them. They are getting crazy. I'm sorry for that. So we were talking about the font size and type. Maybe you noticed that this document, the text size is 14, and Arial is one of the most readable texts. So I always create my documents with at least a font size of 14 because that's easier for reading. Now, headings and subheadings. So far, headings and subheadings are very important to humans when they read to see what comes under what. But also it is important for the screen readers, for readers who have vision challenges, they might use screen readers. So it's important for screen readers to see that, okay, this is heading number level one, this is heading number two, this is nested under this, to show you what I mean. So if we click on what I called the title, we will see here it says normal text. But we have title, we have heading one, we have heading two, heading three. I'm going to go and say heading one. Notice how now on the left we have maintaining readability and accessibility and the rest of the thing, the rest of the title as level one. Okay, I have this introduction. Um, let's say that the guide is level two. I'm going to come here and say format, paragraph styles, and heading two. Notice how now level two is nested under level one. If I want to change the formatting, I can do that. I'm going to go to leave it back to normal text. Now, by default, it's 11 and it's Arial. I want it to be 14, so I left it 14. I actually will add here a subheading, say, guidelines. If I want to format this, I will lose the formatting once that I make it a subheading. So usually I reformat after I make it a subheading. So I come here to the normal text here or to format paragraph styles and then heading two. And now we'll see guidelines is under maintaining so and so. It's now 16. I want it to the left and I keep it to the left and I make it bold. So this is now we're done with font size, with headings and subheadings. Table of contents. So after I finish any document, putting all the headings and subheadings, let me say that I want automatic table of content. I go to insert, table of contents, and I decide how I want it to look like. And then this is it. You click here, you go to guidelines, you click here, you go up. So the cursor moves. So just imagine if you have a very long document, then you would need that. So let's see. Here's, for instance, this is a document that I created for a workshop. So you can see how here it shows the different levels because it's a longer one. Okay. Now, after that, after the table of content, we have nested, bulleted, and numbered lists. So for instance, this is a nested one. We have number 3 and then underneath A to K. So I will get it back. I will remove the numbers just to show you how I made that. And I will even change these. Let's say it was like this, and I know that these are sub from the previous text. I come here, and then do you see these two icons, decrease indent and increase indent? I want to increase indent. Okay, so now they become, we know that these are sub of these. Come here and go to the numbers. It created it as a new one because it didn't understand that this is number 3. I just come here and I know that there is a smarter way to do it, but I really don't remember how to do it. So I just did what I did. Okay, let's say that we created these. Again, there is another way to do it. Oh, I didn't mean to be 4, 5, 6. So if I come here and say increase indent, it will know by itself and redo them as a 2K. Now, why are we doing all that? Because we're doing all that because we want to make the experience for our readers, for our targeted audience, much easier in navigating our documents, understanding them, and mostly when people understand our work, they want to do an action because of it. So then this becomes a rhetorical move that we do what we do to influence our readers and targeted audiences. Okay, indenting text. Again, I might need to indent text. So let's say that this document I want it to be this note I want it to be indented. I come to here, increase indent or decrease indent. And that's better than just coming here and moving the pointer here, the grid lines. Okay, so I'm going to do undo. And then inserting page headers and footers and page numbers. And this is something very important. So by default, there is a header here. Like if we click on it, we find it. Why is it important to insert page numbers? Because oftentimes, for instance, when I work with my students, I want to point to raise their awareness to something in a particular page. So I want them to be able to locate the number right away. Not only that, let's say that I want to download their work and printed it out. Then I want to know which is paper 1, which is 2, which is 3, and so on. So this is then, it's not only just a numbering thing, it's a move for readability and accessibility. So I said insert and I decided where to insert the number. And I want to come here and make it bigger. So I want it 14. I want to justify it to the right and so on. So this is the page number. Now the page number goes everywhere. I don't want only to do the page number. I want to keep something to be repeated in the heading. So for instance, the title and who it was made by. So I will say maintaining readability and accessibility by Dr. Kifaya Diab. And then I don't go by making space, 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 but I press tab instead. I want it to be a little bit to the left, so I'm gonna just move it to the left. Okay, so now we will see this on every page. So if I print out the papers and I drop them and I don't know which one is which, I have the heading to tell me which document this is, and I have the page number. So not only because the title is only on the first page. So again, it's a matter of readability and accessibility. Now, oftentimes people spacing, and I left the spacing non-friendly for screen readers. So I just made, we often make enter, enter, enter to make however we want, how many we want. Look, because if I remove here, it doesn't, it's, I need to distinguish the paragraph from the other paragraph. And most people don't know that if I do this, the screen reader will start reading space, 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 or empty line. So that will distract the person who's reading. Instead, what we can do is select these two paragraphs that I want to have a space between and go to this icon here, line and paragraph spacing, and click on it. I can see if I want the space between lines to be single, and you see that it went smaller, but no, actually I wanted 1.15, or maybe I wanted 1.5. So I don't click any enter, but I created it this way. But this is not what I wanted to do. I wanted 1.15, and I want in between paragraphs to have spaces. So I would say add space before paragraph or add space after paragraph. So I would make it after paragraph, and now this is the space. So I'm going to delete all the extra spaces that I created. So I'm going to select all and then go here to the paragraph and spacing and say add space after paragraph. Now anything extra, I'll remove it, but now we have the stuff here. All the extra spaces I created, I don't really need them. I'm going to remove them. Okay, what else we have? We have page breaks. Let's say that, okay, I want this is to be the table of contents to be on a different page instead of just doing, sorry, instead of coming here and doing enter, 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 which I don't want to do again. So I remove all this. I will come here and say page break, insert break, page break. Now, this is on a new page, the table of content. I want also the text to be on a new page. Then I come here to insert and page break, page break. Okay. That makes more sense to have the, the table of contents, the title on one page, the table contents one page. It depends on really your intention, what you want it to be, how you want to design it, how it would make sense for your readers. Okay, so finally we have hyperlinks, not mere links. What do I mean by that? If we look here, I put that there are more resources for you to go to. And I put the full link to the PDF file where it's published. Now, this is a link. Yes, it's hyperlinked, which means if I click on it, I go to the link. What I mean is to have this full link inserted. So I'll make cut, and then enabling the reader is what I will hyperlink. Come here to the hyperlink icon, insert link, and insert the link. Why is this important? This is important because it will be too long for a screen reader to read the whole thing. And often, sometimes it's like rubbish, sometimes it's question marks and so on. No, just enabling the reader, and the screen reader will tell us that this is a hyperlink. So I'm going to do the same here and say the rhetorical possibilities of accessibility and go to the link here and add. So I always insist on teaching these things to my students. So with this, we finished the whole list. But as I said, this is only a list, not a comprehensive list. There is a lot that we can do. I see that here I entered two of what. And those are the two examples I suggest that you see. And you will have chances to ask me questions when we meet. So please feel free to ask me any questions about the content of this video. And thank you again.